Chris, is there any? Do you want to work on the economy track system that you were thinking of?
Oh,
Because I feel like you're the numbers guy.
let's do some notes
So
review on this one.
yeah, so what we're doing, everybody, is we are designing a game together based on a very simple mechanic or a very simple idea for a mechanic that we came up with originally. And we decided, you know what, let's keep taking this further. And we designed a game that has a spatial element, which is kind of I'm driving the spatial element, while Chris is more of a numbers guy and a systems guy. He's probably going to be driving the systems element, the numbers element. And if you look right here, I have that is not the right one. Here we go. Do we have this shared so that we can share it with people, but they can't edit it? Anyone with a link can edit. Oh, that is unfortunate. You know what we'll do? Anyone with a link can view. This way we can share it with people, and then just go ahead and give me editing privileges. So here you go, everybody. You can see our notes that we're kind of doing here. If we go over the economy side, so Chris is going to work on some of the economy side. The idea was if you're dropping, let me go back to our Photoshop file. If you're starting down here and you're trying to get up to a city up here or whatever, and Chris came up with this great idea to have, instead of it just dropping directly on a city or just out in the middle of nowhere, they all have their own territories. And so if you drop a piece while you're inside of a territory, you hurt your reputation with that territory, and they may not want to get shipments from you anymore because you always destroy their village. So every time you drop a piece off your ship, you're actually dropping it onto villages and stuff like that. And so homes are being destroyed, and you're causing damage, and you're ruining the environment. And some people or everybody doesn't like that, but they're willing to deal with it if it means they get their resources. However, if you do it too much and you damage them too much and the resources you deliver are too little, if that balance isn't there, then you've hurt your reputation enough to where you're locked out of that. And so if we go back over, that's the general idea. If we go back over the notes here, Chris, what were you looking at here that was telling you about that?
I don't actually think we have anything other than there's a rules for the cities section here. It says delivered goods, buildings destroyed, bad. Towns will have a demand curve. Contracts will be the goods available to deliver to towns.
Gotcha.
But that was enough to jog my memory of what I kind of wanted to build into the economic system. So,
okay.
So the economic system is going to have to. I'm going to start with the variables because that's the easiest place.
Well, but before you start, I'm going to say what I'm going to do. Okay. I'm going to just focus on making these pieces and being quiet.
Okay.
And you can talk about the economy and whatnot.
Okay.
Does that work?
That works for me.
Okay, go for it.
So with the economic system, the stuff we have to consider is how each region, what is actually happening in a region. So let's just talk this out the way that I would do. I'm on my ship. I'm flying into a region. I have some goods that I've picked up somewhere else on the map. It doesn't matter where at this point. So I've picked them up somewhere, and I see that region 3 has demand for. Oh, did we decide what goods we were going to do, Joe? I hate to break your vow of silence, but.
Did we decide which goods we're going to do?
I don't see anything in the notes for it.
You mean did we decide that we were going to have multiple goods?
Yeah. Because if we have like demand, like do we want to have like multiple variables for demand, or do we just want to say this town demands 4 goods?
So let's keep it super simple now, but if we're finding that we need some sort of like variance on that play, then it can be like they need food, they need medicine, they need tools. Or like raw resources or something, right? And so we could have 3, but if we keep it, let's just say we're delivering 1 resource for right now, and then we can increase that if we find that it's too simple.
Got it. Okay. Okay, so all right. So back to what I was. You can go back to your vow of silence.
I have.
Excellent. Okay, so I've picked up 5 goods. I have to deliver them. So I see the next region over, they want 2, and then the region after that, they want 3. So I'm going to fly over the next door neighbor, and I need to drop off 2 of the goods. Now, let's say in the most simple example, I actually just use the templates and I can fly my way into the region of the city. That actually brings up a question: is what constitutes? Is that a word? No, I spelled that wrong because I'm a lousy speller. All right, what constitutes being in a city versus being in a region, and does that even matter? Because so last time we did this, we talked about how if you are over a city and you drop a piece of your ship and it lands and destroys a building, that's a really specific area of the map, whereas we have lots and lots of area on the board. So if we split the board up into regions, then you drop a piece in a region, then that just affects the town. So actually, let's just say dropping goods, for the sake of being consistent, because we want to err on the side of simplicity here, we're going to say dropping goods in a region is good enough. And if we need to change that later, we will. Okay. So that means that regions need a demand number. Regions need a demand number, and the demand number. How is this going to fluctuate? How is this going to fluctuate? And this is going to fluctuate by deliveries. It's going to fluctuate by outside force, up or down. And the question is, what are those forces? Okay. If I'm in a region and I'm waiting for stuff to get dropped off, all right, super simple, Chris. Let's err super simple. So stuff gets delivered. Oh, or stuff is taken away. Oh, that actually, okay, so consumer track, like that, this is too much, but needs to be thought about. Okay, so here's my thinking. THOUGHD. Let's say in a certain region, let's say Joe and I are in the same region. I pick up 4 goods. I go over to the next region and I drop off 3 of them. Joe's behind me and he's going to go on a long run. So he's going to pick up, say, 6 goods, but he needs 8 in order to deliver everything he has to high up into the mountains. So Joe, who can only purchase 6 in region 1, is then going to fly to region 2 and is actually going to take 2 of the goods from the region of which I just dropped off, and then he will continue on to where he's going. So it's kind of a planned take that-ish, but that's not really take that-ish. That's just I'm using your delivered goods. But then, so that could actually cause the district to not be happy. This is why it's too much, but needs to be. We're going to stick a pin in that, and we'll come back to it later. Okay, so back to the demand. So deliveries will change it. Outside force, we don't know what those are, and then stuff is taken away. Okay. Regions need a happiness counter.
15.
Okay, what is on this counter? What is on this counter? So there's going to be cubes for each player, or a cube. And these cubes are going to represent whatever the happiness is. Cubes are the happy. Okay.
Cubes are the happy.
Yes, cubes are the happy.
Fantastic.
That sounds like a designer t-shirt to me.
Yeah.
Okay. So cubes are the happy. Those cubes are going to go up and down the scale. Are we worried about like piece limits right now, Joe? Because my publisher brain is turned on as soon as I say cubes. Like each region will have a cube for each player. That's a lot of cubes.
See, I don't hear this as cubes. I hear this as cards. But yeah, cubes, sure.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, play with it, right? If it doesn't feel right, we'll change it.
Awesome. All right. So cubes are the happy. So cubes are moving up and down the scale.
All right, Christine, I will. I broke my vow of silence. Unsubbing. Get out of here. No one asked you.
You were asked a direct question in your defense.
I know. Exactly.
What happens when the cube gets too high or too low? I think the obvious one is blocked from this zone. It's a no-fly zone. What if it gets too high? Well, too high is the wrong way to think about it. But if it's really high, you get high on track gives bonus cash, bonus coins, or goods. All right. Okay.
Christine, awesome. I'll get back to you on that.
Okay, then, dropped items. Oh, this would go under, okay. What makes the happy move? So, we'll do up and we'll do down.
What makes the happy move? I love this, Chris. This is great.
This is my note-taking system is just amazing. Okay, delivered goods. Delivered goods. There should be some sort of scale based on how much demand is met. Okay, so yeah, I feel like that's really the only reasonable way right now to actually increase the happy. So down. What makes the happy go down? Dropped plane parts or machine parts. Oh, okay. So purchased goods below survival number. Okay, so we're gonna do. Okay, so tracks themselves.
Oh shit! What have I done?
What did you do?
Literally nothing. I made these the exact same.
Now that's breaking your vow of silence. When a set of goods gets into a red zone. I know I should be talking my way through this, but I have to get this spit this out of my head before I try and do two things at once. There's red and green zones. When a player buys goods to take supply to the red, the region gets unhappy. Okay. So the tracks will have, I'm just going to say 10 just because that's a standard track size, but it doesn't need to be 10. It will have it'll be like the bottom 3 are red or the bottom 4, it depends on the town. Wait, we're going with a modular board, right?
No.
No, we're not. We're going with the set board. Oh. Okay, well, I'm going to talk it out anyways. So you've got 10 spaces. Like the bottom 3 will be red, the top 3 will be green. If you can supply up to the green, you'll get a bonus from the town. If you purchase goods from the town and get it below the red, then they'll be unhappy because they have minimum standards of what they need in order to survive or, eat or use their goods and services for whatever. So in the previous example of I fly in, drop off some goods, Joe comes in behind me and purchases all the way down. Purchases what I just dropped off. Then they'll be unhappy with Joe, but Joe doesn't care because he's going to go up into the city in the hills, which will give him more notoriety and fame, or however we're scoring the end game for this particular game. Which that really does lead to the idea of having a consumption. Because if that's, we can't have that be static. But then you could also say, okay, well, regions probably produce goods as well, so why would they not produce goods? And then you run into the problem of, are we adding too many goods to the board at any given time? Which is very easy to do. Joe, do you have any thoughts on this particular line of thought?
I am very engrossed in this. I missed some of that.
Oh, okay. Then never mind. Then keep doing what you're doing.
Will do.
Divide and conquer. Divide and conquer. That's what we're doing.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm flying solo on this mission. Regions. Let's see. Regional production and consumption. Let's see. Make, use. If a zone has okay. Give each region a color. We're going to borrow from Catan. Give each region a color. On every turn, two cards or two colors are revealed using some method. I mean, it could just be like in this game we have card draw, and each card will have a color on it, and that color is associated with the region, and based on those draws, something happens. So each turn, two colors are revealed, however they're revealed. Those two colors mean the red regions will produce and the blue regions will consume. Okay. I feel like we're going to have to do more with this consumption production deal. I think it's a little too linear. I feel like there needs to be some, double timing production or something like that. But at least now what we did up here with the consumption track, which I thought would be too much, is actually right now it's a part of the game. Okay. So we did the happy. Where drop machine parts. Okay. We did dropped goods, we did delivered items, we did happiness, regions will have demand, we did that. Oh, wait, hold on a second. How do we do demand? Okay, so let's say demand. Each region will have a star on their tracks. Is the star variable? No.
Drexel, I have an idea.
Okay. Each region will have a star on their tracks. Is that star variable? It doesn't matter. Okay. When a player meets a region's star demand, they will get a basic they'll get a point. They'll get a thing. Oh, how do I want to do this? Do they get... Yeah, it's got to be a point scoring thing, because they will get points or whatever towards the end game score. When they fall below due to a player, they lose notoriety. Let's see what we put down for notes earlier on. end game related scoring. This is a great note. I have a note here that just says cartoon. What does that even mean?
It means that this is very much like a cartoon. It is Wacky Racers style. I remember you writing that.
Glad one of us remembered. Okay.
Got you, Chris.
What do we have for end game here? Anything? Green. No, red is mountain. Nope. 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 Demand. Joe wants to focus on the flying. We have nothing here for end game.
End game is completing contracts enough, or being high enough, like loved enough that basically the whole goal is to be the company, the delivery company that people prefer.
Okay.
Be right back.
Goal is to be the preferred delivery company. All right. Okay, so if the goal is to be the preferred delivery company, so there are two things that we're tracking. We're tracking dollars so that you can buy goods, and we're tracking notoriety so that people, or popularity. All right, so let's do, what do we have here? Doing the white circles. All right, goals, there is popularity, and there is cash. Popularity, this will change when players perform actions in the extreme zones. This will also change. This will change in a smaller manner when players move goods over the star demand for each town, each region. Okay. This will also change. Will also change. Well, this is okay. This is related to. I was going to say this will also change when players drop goods in a drop a piece of their ship in a region, but I think in more general terms, this is going to basically apply to the happiness tracker. Sorry, I'm trying to get something out of my keyboard without it falling into my computer. Okay. What was I saying? This is directly
Joe's awesome.
affected by. This is directly affected by the happiness, the happy track. All right, cash. Cash, the obvious thing is to make cash the tiebreaker. The next obvious thing is to say, for every 3 cash you have into the game, you gain a point. But we're not doing that because points don't translate to popularity. So, how do we manage cash? Is cash purely a buy sell thing? Joe, do you have thoughts about this one?
I feel like, just from the words I'm hearing, that you're caring too much about like an actual economy and not just, I've collected 5 contracts. They are worth point value 1, 2, 3, or 4 or 5. Oh, cool. Well, 5s are the harder contracts. And when I finally bring you a contract, if I deliver a 5 contract, but I've dropped a piece and I've dropped 2 pieces in your territory, that means I've only gotten a positive of 3 because I've destroyed things. Like, I feel like it could be very simplified. And then you can play with the strategy of how much are you willing to drop on a territory in order to deliver a contract to an area. Like, what if you drop it on a different area on your way to a contract, so you're hurting your relations with one place where you have not dropped anything off of, so now you're at -2 on that track when you haven't even delivered anything to them yet, because you're trying to get somewhere else and get a positive delivery with them. So you can choose to like completely give up on certain locations in order to maximize your track with another location. And then once you're the preferred person there, any contracts that flip up that belong to them or something, no one else can do but you. but now you are charged with the responsibility of getting there.
So I hear what you're saying. I guess when I hear different contracts on the board that are worth different point values, I think, okay, well then we get into like we have to do the balancing ourselves for making sure that those contract point values make sense. Whereas if you make it a track system where you score points based on what you're doing in that town, then it's a self-balancing system.
I mean, I think mine still achieves that if we introduce multiple goods. So in other words, if I do a contract that it's worth 5 if I can bring 3 food and 2 medicine to them. And so now I have to buy that medicine and those food at whatever the market value is. So instead of the contracts holding the difficulty of economy, you actually have the cost of goods holding the difficulty of the economy.
So you sent me down a road of keeping it simple and using one good.
Yeah, no, I know I did. I'm saying like we can still do that with one good. We can say we can test out the economy with one good, food. We're delivering food. Right. So if I flip a contract over and it says 3, that means I need to buy 3 food and get it there. And then I get a reward based on how good of a relationship I have with that area. If I'm +4 or if I'm +3 with that area, then I get the full value, +1 or something. I see it in my head. I need to see your track. Can you share your screen with me?
It's just words. There's nothing. I mean, yeah.
Oh, it's just words. Okay. Okay. Hold on. Let me see if this.
I mean, I can put something together for you.
Yeah. Try that. Try. I'd like to see. I think visually the track would help me be able to give you better feedback.
Okay.
If you see a track.
This has got to be riveting when we're both actually doing visual work. There it is. Okay. Then we do.
All right, here, look on my track real quick on my screen.
Yeah, hold on. Okay.
So I feel like each town has a track like this, right? And if I have destroyed part of their territory by dropping a piece on it and I'm blue, I'm in the negative, which means the next time I deliver something, I have to pay for that negative, first of all, right? Maybe there's supposed to be a center, a neutral one, right? So I'll just put it right here on the line. So I pay for that. Damage that I did right here, and then let's say it was a 3-point contract. It would be 1, 2, 3, and so now I'm here or I'm here or something like that. So the next time that I deliver something to them, I'm getting a benefit based on where I am. So like if you are all the way up here, like any contracts that come out, you have first pick. If you choose not to pick them, I could pick them up. And then like I could eventually get up here. And whoever enters in, maybe this person gets knocked back 1. So now I have priority. You start losing them or something, or every contract you don't take from them once you're at the max will reduce you by 1. So you automatically will lose the priority spot, right? But then if I'm up here, I get +2 money when I complete that. So if it's a 5-point contract, instead of getting 5, I'd get 7 or 8 or something like that. And then if I'm down here, then it's plus 2 plus 1 plus 0, or whatever the value is, be 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So I'm in a positive standing, so I get plus 1. So if I deliver a 5-point contract, I get plus 1 gold out of it. And that might seem like really too cheap. It might need to start out at plus 3 or something so that you can actually buy goods and make a profit. Because I feel like there's going to be a goods market down here too, and the goods market is going to be almost stock-like, where this right here is where food is at, and then this right here is where medicine is at. Medicine is in overabundance. Nobody needs it, so stock prices are minus 2 right now. So you can buy medicine. If it were 5, I could buy it for minus 2. I could buy it for 3, and then I can go complete a contract. But then every time you complete a contract, you move the stock prices essentially. Like, oh, the amount of medicine needed on the board right now is in high demand. So now, like, it would, something like that. If it's in high demand, now it's going to cost extra money because the suppliers know that it's in high demand. And then if it's in low demand, it's here. So you might stock up on medicine while it's at a really cheap value, so that once medicine contracts come up on the board, and then you calculate, oh, there are 2 contracts with medicine on the board, and they have a total of 5 medicine needed. So 5 medicine, like, this is when there's 5, this is when there's 6, this is when there's 7, this is when there's 8 on the board contracts. And so suddenly you have, you're at 5, so it's now going to cost you plus 1, whatever the base price is of that. If medicine costs 2, now it's plus 1, it's 3. And then as contracts are completed, it shifts back this way. So you want to buy when there's not a high demand, but you don't know when those contracts are going to come up. So you might be risking your money when you don't need to, or you might be making the perfect play. Like, fuck, medicine's really cheap right now. I'm going to buy a ton of medicine. When a medicine contract comes up, I'm going to fulfill it, driving the medicine prices back, or when they come up, the medicine prices will be high, but I'll already have this stockpile of medicine. So I see it being fairly simple, just like a track of, a slider track. I don't know if any of that helps you, if you want to go a different route, but that's kind of the vision of simplified economy that I was thinking of originally.
So here, when you say contract, here's what I'm thinking, because if a player can look at the board and they can say, okay, so region 3 and 4, they need 4 goods each to reach their star level. I can get 4 and I can get over this turn, but everybody else on the board sees the same thing. So it then becomes a race between players to get to and fulfill the various amounts, or be the person actually push a...
Right, so there's a contract on, let's say, this center town right here.
Yeah.
And you're saying that contract says, this town needs 3 medicine.
Yeah, and if you draft then I don't get to do anything about it.
Right, so I've basically bought that contract.
Okay.
And now I have to fulfill it. And if I don't, so there's 2 routes I think that you could go. They just post on their message boards, like a town this town needs boards or whatever it would be called. I forget what the hell those things are called. But essentially, this town just posts, hey, if anybody wants to deliver us 3 medicine, we'll give you this much money. And so you happen to have medicine in your store, and so you race there. But if you don't have medicine, you have to buy it first, which might take your, an action on your turn. So then on the next turn, you'll only be able to start trying to deliver it. Meanwhile, I'm already there. I'm already trying to deliver it. Right, because I chose to buy some earlier. Or it's a town flips a contract up and says, or it's not a specific town. Contracts are off the side of the board, and they flip up and they say, oh, this town, and this town have contracts. Town A, B, and C have contracts, or A, and C have contracts. And or it's draft contract time. All right, well, I want this one. And now it's up to you to deliver that, and there's a negative if you can't deliver it. So those are the 2 different paths that I see going with contracts. Which one appeals to you more?
The one that actually has player interaction, like you're racing, like I have.
Okay, so the first one.
Yeah, the first one.
Yeah, I like that a lot too. So essentially, that's the one that I was going to go with. So essentially, town A flips over every town flips over a contract, right? And town A has a contract up that says it needs 3 medicine. Now, there wasn't like, okay, so let me do this. This is how I see this happening. So let's do. I'm just so much better explaining visually, Chris. I'm sorry. Words. I'm getting lost with my words.
That's all right. Can you share it on the Hangout so I can see it in real time?
Oh, absolutely. Let me do that. File, share screen, and share this. Share. Okay. So now I'm sharing with you. Okay. So it's this top thing up here, right?
Wait.
So
Well, where are you sharing it?
I thought I was sharing it
in the Hangout?
In Google Hangout.
Nope. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
cool. All right, so let's first of all let's do some towns. Let's do a town here, town here, town here, right? Town like that, and then let's make some lines for regions. This is just like really simple, right?
Yep.
All right, so that's like our board, right? And then we have a contract card. This contract card says I need, and actually we'll use green for food. Let's say food is our thing, right? So this contract says I need 3. This one says I need 2. This one says I need 1. This one says I need 5 because I'm really hungry, and this one says I need 3, right?
Yep.
So they flip over, and now what you do is you calculate. Now in a multi-unit system, it makes more sense. But so maybe if this is the way you want to go, we switch over to immediately and do multiple goods. But in this thing right here, I see this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let's see, 5 plus 2 is 7, plus 3 is 10, 11 plus 3 is 14. So 14, right? So we're sitting at 14 food right now.
Yep.
If you look on the track here, this track right here, let's do this. This is what have I done? All right, so this is why can I not? Oh, I know why. I'm dumb. All right, so this is or I'm not. What the hell? Oh God, it's just lagging because I'm doing so much with my computer. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. I don't know why that was happening. What the fuck? Okay, ignore that. So this is 5. This is 10. This is 15. And this is 20. So this is just weird values. This is my economy down here. If the value of the economy for food is at 14, like it is on the board, then it's here. It's not quite up here. Which means, so if it's at 10, then the cost of it is plus 3 or something like that, right? In this zone, because right now medicine is super in high demand. So now it's going to cost plus 3. So if I just do this, I'll do plus 3. That's huge. Jesus, I didn't realize my document was so small. So it's going to be plus 3 on the cost right here. Yep. Right. And then if I go over here, it'll be plus 5. And then if I go over here, it'll be plus 10, right? It's insane. It starts getting super expensive. And down here, it is just plus 1. So because the food tracker represented on the board is at 14, then this dial, this thing goes up higher, and now it's here. So now you have to pay plus 3 to buy each of your food. So each of your food. Whereas if medicine were represented on the board, where are my dots? Oh, they're up here. Jesus. Okay. Let's get a pink, and we'll do this. Right. So if this were the state right here, then it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 7, and then we have how many? What have I done? Oh, I'm on the eraser. That's why. What is going on? And then for food, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're at a perfect 7, right? So then if you came down here, they're not that. They're both at 1, right? So everything is fairly cheap right now, but it is in demand, right? And if we happen to clear like all of the medicine from a board, then suddenly medicine costs whoops, that's not medicine. Medicine costs much cheaper than it used to be. It's at, if there are 0 medicine or something and it's down here, then it costs -5 for every medicine. So if medicine costs 6, it would cost 1 for a medicine. And so players can race to manipulate the market and complete these contracts that are visible because of the goods that they have in their system.
Okay.
Am I displaying this visually correctly? I feel like
you're doing your demand curve backwards, but that's all right. I mean,
am I? Okay. But you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh, I am doing this thing down here. I'm doing this backwards. You're right. I was messing that up.
There's no medicine on the. Well, it depends. If you're looking at medicine as like demand, then the cost, when demand goes down, cost goes down. And I think you stated backwards before. Yes,
I did. Yes, yeah. But you understand what I was saying.
Yeah, I know. So. I know what you mean to say.
Yeah, you're right. I was flip-flopping that. Essentially, if there's a shit ton of medicine in demand, medicine prices go up. Yep. It costs more. If there's no medicine on the board, that's the best time to buy medicine because you'll get it for super cheap. In fact, you'll get it for a discount. But the problem is you're spending your money on something that there's no demand for in hopes that there will be a demand. And so when the next contract flips up, let's say suddenly there's more medicine on the board. You're like, sweet, I have a contract to go fill, and I happen to have medicine stored in my banks, and it's going to be more expensive for my opponent to then buy the medicine. So I hedged my bets, and I was right. I bought medicine when it was, super cheap, and now I get to go, make money off of that.
Okay.
And then... So that's the economy system that I have in mind for a very simplified track, slider-based economy. But then you have did you damage the city? And if you've damaged the city, you put a mark on that city. And so that will be 1 less money that they will give you, and then 2 less money that they'll give you, and then 3 less money. So it becomes less and less this can change, obviously, but it becomes less and less efficient to bring your stuff to that town, even if you have the resources, because you're getting less money for it. And eventually you're just going to decide, screw it, I'm not going to go to that town anymore, even if I have all of the stuff for it, because I'm not making any money. They hate me. I keep destroying their town.
Okay.
But if you do deliver stuff to them, you get to take one of those chits off, those damaged chits off, and you increase your favor with them, your reputation with them. And so you could work to bring it back up into a positive reputation. If you deliver enough things to them, then you are on the city track, which is this top one here, and you actually get you get high enough that you can actually get bonus money from them, which means then you can buy more stuff to then go deliver. Or like, does that work for you?
So I mean, I have a different system in mind that I have to build it, but like.
Okay. Build it and pitch it, because I've pitched mine.
Yeah, I totally get what you're saying. I have to build mine and throw it at you.
So the only reason why I had to do this is because I wanted to make sure that what was in my head wasn't too confusing. I think I've confused it by using words, but in my head it makes sense.
Right.
So I hope it made sense to you and everybody who's watching. And so now Chris is going to go ahead and he's going to design his out and then pitch it to me.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna have to take a vow of silence on this one, because I got to make sure.
That's fine. Okay. I'll talk my way through what I'm messing up here.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah. So in my idea here is to get some different turn values, and this is one turn value based on a I mean, I really should just use these, right? So this right here essentially equates to this. It essentially equates to that right there. The difference being that I need to figure out the actual division of this. So if this were a 1, it would be 1 space. If this were a 2, I would divide it in half. If this were a 3, I'd have to divide it along the proper lines. So these radial lines here are not helping me, but I think I can like cheat and use this. And then for the larger circles, it has to be less of a turn. So it's essentially, I was thinking of doing this here. So a 1 here is, I need something that can actually bend. I wish Maybe I just give up on the thing I was doing and I just go exactly with what I got from the Star Wars stuff here. So we have our strites. Did I delete this thing already? We have our 3+3 turn. We don't have a +2 turn. That's right. And I made the mistake of deleting the +1 turn. So I need to go back and get that image. I didn't mean to delete that. I don't know why I did. I suck. All right, so let's go back because I know that image is right here. And we'll copy this and go back to here. Don't use words good. That's true, man. I needed the loose turns here. So let's copy and paste that. And then we can just delete this. That's fine. And then we'll do copy paste. And then here, copy paste. And then here, copy paste. And then we can delete this right here. Okay. Only I can add more quotes. Added by Drexel. That's rude. Rude. Okay. So we were still working on a +2 turn system. So that means that we're going to delete this. And we're going to bring up, we're going to kind of line all of these up, I think. That's what I need to do. I need to put this one here, then this one, and then this one. Oh, this is not even perfect. Is this still the right curve? So if I put this in the center, it's not even the same curve. And that's where I was getting confused. Yeah. See, I wanted this to be a section of this, but it's not. All right. Well, let's just go with what we got here. I think we'll have to do this. Right? Yeah, it like read your mind and gave you the quote that you wanted. All right, so then we'll go with let's turn this one on and we'll do the big turn, the medium turn, and the tight turn with less thrust. So that distance is a 1. Is that actually distance of a 2, and is that actually a distance of a 3? Like the leftover there doesn't seem like it's a distance of a 1, and that's what I'm having problems with. So I think I'm going to try to figure this out here. What is a 2 turn? Oh, you know what I'll do? I'll turn this down and I'll turn this down. So I can try to get in between them. Oh, I'm silly. I need to be doing the in between of the actual, like, the 1 and the 1 and then the 1.
As there's fewer of it, the cost will go up. Okay.
All right, so there's the 1 and the 1. I need the in between of that. So what I'm going to do is I'll take the turn 2 and I will turn off this and this, and I need to create an in between here. And I think this is almost right. I need to essentially make it not go outside of this range here. Oh, you know what I bet they do? This is genius if this is what they do. Let's put this dead in the center and put it behind everything. Let's do 90, 92, 90. 3. All right, so this would be really cool is if this is what they did. Like if 1 got you to here and 1 got you to, this was a straight 1 and it kept you within the curves, right? So now we have to go to the straight and we need to grab the straight one. Let's turn this. Actually, let's turn these all back on and we'll do this. Yeah, see, that's not equivalent to me. These need to be equivalent. And so I'm going to force them to be equivalent. And my layers are terrible. It should be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right, so 1 should get you to the outer edge of that circle. I should be doing this in circle base. So let's do that. Let's figure out what a 1 is first. This will be our 1 circle. And we will scale this down to be I guess wherever it reaches, like if that's a 1 right there. Oops, why did I delete it? Still not a 1 because I'm scaling incorrectly. I'm not scaling from the center here. So let's do 90, 80, 75, 275, right? Then we'll take the straight 1 and we will bring it up just a little bit. There we go. So straight 1 is done. Then we're going to go to, let's put this here. Then we'll go to turn 2, or turn, oh, we don't have a +2 yet. That's right. We have to sort out these other ones first. So we'll go to the 3. Oh, wait. Go to the 1. All right. And so this has to go like this right there. And I'll redo these now that I know the curvature of them, but I'm going to use this to create that. So we have our straight and we have our 1. Let's do this. This is going to get really obnoxious. All right, so that there. Good, good. Let's go to 3, and we need to do that. And so what I'm doing is I'm lining up this point right here. Or should this be, yeah, it needs to be right here, which means that is 1. Which means I need to readdress this whole thing and scale it up slightly. Oh, I'm going to do these individually anyway. You have to go now. See you later, man. Maybe next time, Drexel. Maybe next time. All right. So now that we have that, now we can look at the 3. We have the 3 solidified. So now we need a 2. A 2 needs to hit. Oh, sorry. There we go. A 2 needs to hit in between all of that. So let's grab the 2. Let's put this in the center. It needs to be just in between all of this. So even if that means I have to delete some things. All right, I know what I can do. Put this layer here. And let's make this black. We'll make some spots here. We'll go 1. 45 is going to be the oh, they don't let you do 45s here. Okay. 45 is going to be the spot right there. And then so that this is straight. This is a thrust of 3. This is a thrust of 2, and this is a thrust of 1. So essentially that's where we need our center lines to be when we draw a curve from here to there. So I can do this pretty easily now, actually. So those will be our guides. And then I can do a circle in the center here. Sorry, not center, right? Like that. There we go. And then I can put that right there, or not. Why doesn't it want to scale from the spot that I tell it to? And I should probably delete this, actually. And make a very large circle. It's nice and crisp. And then I'll bring the transparency down to there. And I can put this here. technically, okay, so I need one more guide. I need my line to be this thick. There we go. There. Cool. And then I can line this up here. And I can tell now it's still not going to scale properly. But I can tell now that if I do all right, so that's one. Turn that off, duplicate it. And it's one. A little bit further. That's two. And then we'll duplicate that. Does this not work for some reason? Oh, it's because I'm trying to go to the edge. These were wrong. These two were wrong. Can I do this and stroke the edge to make the shape I want? Can't. All right. I don't know what the hell I'm doing anymore. I feel like this should be way easier, and I'm making it way harder than it is. I have to go to the center line, which means
if you cross the star, you move up or down.
this would be here. This needs to be here for the perfectly 90-degree turn. All right, so that's the perfectly 90-degree turn. Oh, isn't it actually the same size? And that is almost. Okay, cool. So from here, and we'll duplicate this, but we'll take this one first, and we will kill it right there. We'll kill it right there. All right, so that is the 90-degree turn because I'm getting to the center here. Then on this one, I have to scale it. Try some numbers here. Let's do, I don't know why I cannot figure this out.
Because math is hard.
Yeah, I'm going to try a different approach. If I were in Maya, I could do this. I feel like if I were in Maya, I would be fine. All right, let's try a different approach. We're going to do B. We're going to do a 1, 2, and a 3. So I need a line that will curve out of this, essentially. So there's a really tight turn. Then there's this, and then there's this. Oh, I see what I need. I need a line going from here to the 45.
That's not what I want at all.
I need a line going from here to here. And now I have my full turn, but they're not one. Full turn here and here. And are they all ones? This one looks like it's going further. So do I need this? So full turn, then this one, it's like a racetrack, like a sprinting track. The outer edge needs to go further. So it needs to be shorter. But how much shorter? 1, 2, 3. I feel like that's right. 1, 2, 3. And those are all different. They're still tight angles, but they are... All right, I think that's how I'm supposed to do it. Let's try this again. Let's do this with a little bit of precision. So we're gonna do some. We are gonna go grab a radial lines here, but we're gonna grab them with. Whoops! Why you did this? All right, radial lines. We're gonna grab this with a higher frequency so that we can really chop it, and I think this one is the right one right here. Okay, not what I wanted. Copy image.
I think I'm ready to pitch whenever you hit a breakpoint.
Okay, 1 second. Copy image. Come on now. Copy the image. There we go. Delete all that. Set that to multiply so it's nice and easy. It's the right size. So let's just do that size. We'll take this and we'll delete this. Oh, no, wait. We need this to scale. There we go. So this right here, this cannot be multiply. Yeah, I'm almost ready, Chris. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. Yep.
Let's do. That's the full. We'll do this at 20%. Why are you doing this? 20%, 20%, 20%. Oh, they're all the same size. Of course, I'm an idiot. Control T. Go down to 25%. Go up to 50%. That feels good. And this one, let's go 75%. That feels good. And then we will select sections of this. So first of all, we'll delete this. Then we'll delete. Okay, whoops. Delete, delete, delete. And then we'll reselect. And we will delete, delete, delete. And then from here, I will need to select all of those. Then we're going to do this gets deleted from 4 sections. And then this one will be another 4. One. Oh, okay. Or not. 2. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And does that work? It does get me my 3 lengths that are all about the same. I think that is how I'm going to do it for the other ones as well. Tight, further. So now if I put all of these here, here, and here, that is the 3 angles, but this one is not halfway between. So I need to actually delete one more out of this one, which is fine. Select this one, delete it out of the second one. And then this one, delete 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Delete this one out of here. So it goes 5, then 4. And now when I move these over, you can see that they are almost perfect. What the hell? What is this, the second or third one? Second one, if I deleted one more, it'd be too short. Okay, anyway. Sorry. One more second. I figured out how to set this up. Okay, let's go ahead and share your screen with me. I'll make that huge on mine.
Yep, it's shared.
Okay, cool. Let's do this.
Okay. So what you're looking at is the top row. Well, our names are on here, and our names, of course, it's like you're on this 0, and I'm on this -2.
Okay.
This top level is our popularity track. So in this particular region, I am more popular than you are.
Wait. So you will get -$2 from completing a contract?
Nope, I'll get there. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay. In the middle, this is just it's a reference point, and these zones mean something. I'll get there. This bottom area, this is the cost of goods. It's also the demand, so it functions as two things. So in this town, you can see there are already 5 squares. Like these are, I see these as cubes. So there are there are 5 cubes, and then under each of these could go away, and then you'll have a number under there. So that number is kind of represents a cost.
So let me think about this real quick. The black cubes are the demand.
The black cubes are what they already have in town. The white cubes...
Oh, what they already have, so the price goes down?
As they have more, the price goes down to actually purchase them.
We're purchasing from towns?
Yeah, well...
In this?
Well, I'm kind of viewing the regions as you can either deliver to them or you can purchase from them, and then there'll be like depots that are like in certain like starter regions, like at the lower portion of the board, where you can buy as much as you want. But I'm not really worried about those mechanics right now. I'm just worried about our region mechanics.
Right. Sorry, I was functioning. My whole thing was functioning off of the idea that there was a global market, just one place to buy things.
Oh.
You're doing regional markets.
Yeah.
That's cool. So to me, you just delivered, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You've delivered 5 cubes to them, right? And now they have 5 cubes.
Now they have 5 cubes, yes.
Right. And so each turn they might spend 1 to just as the upkeep, like they're using them over time.
Yep.
Which means the price will then go up to purchase from them because they have fewer of them.
Yep.
Got it. Okay, cool.
So here's an example. So let's say you see the board and this star. This is the important thing. Every time you cross this star, you gain popularity. So here's Joe. Joe's got 2 generic goods on his ship. So Joe flies into this zone. He gives them the 2 goods. So those get filled. And then they give him they like him. So they move Joe up the track. All right.
Okay. So now if I were to buy from them, it would cost me, instead of 3, it would cost me -1
per good.
So it would cost me $2.
It would cost you 2.
Okay.
So
and then if I fuck up and I drop something on them, it goes down.
It goes down.
My popularity goes down.
Right. So here I come along and I want to go to a place that wants 5 goods. I only have 2 goods on me. So I need to, and I stop in this zone. They like me because I can get them for -2. So I'm going to purchase 3 of these goods.
Right.
These 3 goods go away. It's going to cost me 6, 11, 15 coin minus 2 per coin. So it's going to be what?
16. Would you say 15?
Yes, 15. So the total.
Oh yeah, it's 15 minus 6. So you're at paying $9.
It would be. I would pay 9, but because I crossed the star again, I would go down. So in popularity. So this would delete.
So you get the discount during the entire purchase for that turn, not after each purchase. It doesn't trigger after each purchase.
Yeah, because I look at it as if like I go into a shop and I purchase all the stuff, and like the shopkeeper likes me at this particular moment.
I like that. Yeah.
Okay. So then we do this, we do that, we do. Why is this not working? Joe, and then okay. So now the way that it sits is that you and I are at the same popularity level, and we are now shifting up and down. So let's say you could leave, and then you could come back, and then you could sell 3 goods to them. So you'd sell the 3 goods, and then you would move up the track. Or let's say you sell them 4 goods for the sake of completing the example. You sell them 4 goods. So now you push them up into a green zone, and so you would actually increase by 2. Because now you've oversupplied them, and so they actually they feel more comfortable.
Right. So now I'm paying -3, so I can get goods for free from them?
Well, I would say like minimum 1 per good. Like you can't pay 0. You can pay, like, it could be 1 per good.
Right. Per good. Well, then the -3 and the -4 don't make sense when you're that high, right?
So then it's probably we should make these like this would be per transaction, not per good.
Like the top 2.
Yeah, yeah. So it would be like what I paid 9 before, so it was 15 minus 6, so that would just be 15 minus 2. So I would have paid
-2.
13.
Right. So yeah. Okay. I like that, Chris. Very, very good. Yeah, I definitely like that. I think that there's a monetary bonus. So then also if I happen to, I get up that high, but then I drop a piece on them in order to escape, in order to change my course so that I can go deliver something somewhere else. Yeah, then I would go down. For each piece I drop on them, I go down. So then so when does dropping happen? Like you would want to drop after you make a purchase, so that like I made a purchase from you, I'm also going to drop shit on you.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I like this, and this is per region.
Per region, yeah.
Okay. If you get into the negatives, into the reds, what happens?
Okay, so if you get into the reds, then your popularity so the cost, well, you have to pay more to buy goods from this zone, and then if I'm down here.
So let's call that a tax.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, let's just call it a tax, because it's not a tax if you can reduce. It's tax and discount, or so it'll be like a reputation tax, but it could be taxed to the town or to you, depending on your popularity, essentially.
Okay.
I was calling that whole thing reputation tax.
Yeah, that was just a misfire on my typing.
Gotcha. Interesting. Okay. Rep tax, and then so the middle is rep, essentially, right?
So the middle is.
It's more like their happiness.
Yeah, it's their happiness, and then it's also it's a numerical way to track how many goods they've got. So if you need like a numeric representation,
I need 3. So yeah, when you cover it up, you can see.
Yeah.
Okay. So that track doesn't really need to be there if the bottom track is done right.
Right.
If it's graphically represented right. Yeah. So it's really not 2 separate tracks there. It's 1 track, but yeah. Okay.
Correct. The limits of working in Excel.
Of course. Interesting. I like it, Chris. You've done a good job. This gets the idea that I was trying to get across with your idea.
Yeah.
I think this is cool. You sold me.
Okay.
But I was thinking there's a global market. You're thinking there's a regional market. So this is a closed system?
So here's the thing. It's a closed system within a region, but if we have like depots somewhere else on the board, we can add like a global. Well, we can play around with a more robust economy there,
right?
But it's a different pricing structure, because basically if we're living within the economy of these numbers here, that's going to be tough to like make progress. But basically,
I have an idea. Sorry, go ahead.
If so, like you go off and you sell, or like I'm here, like there's no way I'm going to pay $12 per good down here, or
Right.
actually whatever. I'm not going to pay the high cost, so I'm going to go back to the depot, pay like $2 a good, and then I'm going to come back and drop it off and get these people happy with me. So if there's a
Right.
depot somewhere that has really cheap goods, that's where I'm going to go to get my next delivery.
Okay, so I got another idea. There is a global market that this economy creates. So underneath that, go one spot underneath it. Yeah, like because I know you have the asterisk there, right? So go one spot underneath it. Just insert a.
Actually,
insert
I don't need those notes anymore.
You didn't need it. Okay, so here put consume. Just type the word consume. Actually, one to the left. One to the left. Yeah, consume there. Oh yeah, on that side. And then on the next one, put export. We are the importers. We import to them. We sell to them.
Yep.
Exporters, they are going to consume a certain amount every turn, right?
Yep.
So, but it will be different based on if they're happy. If they're happy, they consume more. So prices go up quicker. So in the green zone, go underneath the green zone, in 8, 9, and 10, put consume 1, 2, and 3.
Why do I keep doing that? Jesus.
Consumes more.
Consumes more. Okay, I'm sorry. What did you want me to do?
So in the green zone, put consume down. Go down below that on the consume track. Yeah, up one more. There you go, right there. Put 1, and then go 2 to the next one. Yeah, and then 3. Right. So these numbers may not be right, but
no, we're not worried about that right now.
Yeah, exactly. Let's say they have enough cubes that they're up to the $3 one. It's covering the $3 one, and they're on 8, right? I just got them there. That's awesome. I put them over the limit. Well, now they consume 1 every single turn. There's a base of 1, but now they're going to consume an additional 1, so they're going to drop down to 6 at the end of the round. So before the end of the round, you could go swoop in and buy something from them while you're there, and then when you leave, now it's even lower. Their supply is even lower.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Can you put to the left of the black track that you have there? Can you put supply, like current supply, like what they have, their stores, or no, you don't want to say stores. Yeah, just current supply is fine. Yep. Okay, so that way I'm thinking about this properly. So then on the other side, they consume fewer. They consume like we could dictate this entire track for them. So go to the 7 mark and put +0, +0, +0 down all the way to the 4, right? Down in the track, in the same same track we're on.
Paste, but...
Yeah, okay. So 0, 0, 0. And then that's -1 there. So they consume -1. So whatever their base value is, they won't consume. So we need to put their base value of consume somewhere. So it'd be the left, to the left of that track entirely, right? And then -3. They will not consume anything if they're here, but they can't. Technically, this doesn't make sense. This whole red zone would need to be a consume, and the whole green zone would need to be 1 consume number. Because if you're sitting at 1 currently, if they're sitting at 1 current supply, they can't consume 3, so they can't gain it. It doesn't make sense. So the whole red zone is -1. They consume 0 on their turn, so they will always be at 1 or always be at 3. They will not consume if they're there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yep.
Okay, and then in the positive zone, I actually like that there is extra consuming there.
Yeah.
So their base consume, go to the left of this whole track that you've made, the consume track, and just put 1 for base consume. Base consume 1, right? Is this making sense, and does this feel good to you?
Yes.
Okay. A yes on both of those?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Okay, so that's interesting. And then the export, this is what they'll sell each turn.
Okay.
No, not sell, just create. They add to the global market. If they are at a plus, if they're in the green zone, it's more export/produce, and it produces it and it goes straight into the global market. So now the global market will have its own economy that we can purchase from no matter where we are. So you can either purchase from the zone that you're in or the global market.
Now,
does that make sense?
Yeah, you may have been working on this. You may have not been listening when I was going over here, but okay. Regional production and consumption.
Okay.
Give each region a color. Every turn, two colors are revealed using some method. Doesn't matter what right now. Those two colors mean the red regions will produce and the blue regions will consume, assuming those are the colors. Now,
interesting.
I like your method here with the base consume track because it's based off of. Excuse me. Hold on. For consume, I like this because it's based on where. Like players have control over how many cubes are on a region.
Right.
I like that.
We are creating the market.
Yeah.
We are driving the entirety of the market here.
Right. Now for produce, I think I'd like to propose that we go with like a color system just for this one because producing is like that's a random element that
I like that.
Yeah. Okay.
And so the global market will be is where we can purchase from them if the regions, or we can purchase from the global market, and it depends. The global market may have really good stuff in it. So regions will produce based on a random flip, right? A random draw, or something like that. Like you roll a die, and all red regions produce.
Yeah.
And then we look at their track. Thanks for that, host Silverstray. What's up, man? How you doing? So the produce track would be if they're in the green. Only if they're in the green do they add stuff to the global market.
Oh well, I'm not worried about like if they're in the green or the red for producing.
Okay.
I think produce should just matter like purely where a blue region, a blue card is drawn, or a blue symbol is shown. It's now that they produce, so they would now go up to. Maybe we could say if they're green, they would produce 2.
Right. There you go. Yeah. So it will double their produce. And if they're in green, they'll double the produce. If they're in red, they'll half the produce.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. If region is in green, they will double produce.
And then on top of that, I was thinking all of the contracts that are completed that turn, each contract has a color on it or a region name on it, right? Of produce.
Well, here's the thing. Contracts don't exist with this system. Like this star that star is the contract.
They still do. They still do.
How?
So in other words, even if they're maxed out, right? They're going to end up consuming 3 at the end of the round. So then they're going to be back down to the $4 one.
Right.
They still will want goods, right? So all of the goods that we like. So if you flip over a contract, they say that says, bring us 2. And I'll just say goods because I don't know. It doesn't look like we're going to have a single goods here, which is cool. So bring us 2. So if you bring them 2, you complete the contract, which can do extra things like boost your it boosts your what do you call it? Favor, your reputation. It can get you money, extra money on top of, because like in this system, how are we making money? There's no way to make money here.
Oh, good point.
So this system is only the us purchasing from them. This is the market, but we need to make money. So contracts will be how we make money. And so if we, let's say they're at the $4 one, right? They're almost maxed out, and it says bring us 4 of something, and you're like, oh crap, I got to buy 4 goods. Oh cool, I've got 4 goods. I'm gonna bring it to them. You bring it to them. There's a surplus of 1. That immediately, if there's ever a surplus, it immediately boosts your reputation up 1. And you get money because you brought them their goods, right?
Yep.
We have to determine how much they the contracts will have the price on it, like how much money you're going to get. But I was thinking the contracts too, all the contracts that were completed that round, they'll have a region name on them. Regions whose contracts had been completed, those are the ones that produce. So that way it's random based on the contract that you flip. Like let's say I flip a contract for region A.
Yeah.
But it says produce region C. So if I complete A, C will produce.
Okay.
Here's the thing, though. What are they producing that's different? What are the bonuses that they're producing?
Well, I mean, we're only using one good, so they're just
right. So it doesn't matter which region produces. It's
Right.
just how many contracts have been completed. They all produce.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense actually that specific regions would produce, does it?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you think about it outside of the realm of contracts, it makes perfect sense that a region is produced because they have natural resources and people are working and they're going
No. It makes sense that they do produce. It doesn't matter which produce if there's only one goods. It's not like region A is going to produce medicine and region B is going to produce food and region C is going to produce, raw materials. It's not like that. So it doesn't matter which region produces, just that regions do produce.
So the thing is, like, we can lump all of like the goods into, like, we could say region A and region C are yellow regions, and yellow regions produce this turn. It doesn't matter like what thing they produce. It's just like we could say, like, this is going on in the background of the game. Like, yeah, they produced wheat this turn, great. But as far as we're concerned for the game mechanics, like, a good is a good is a good. Like, goods are fungible regardless if they're wheat, whether they're ore.
That's kind of my point, though, is if contracts only say deliver 5 goods, let's just say our only good is food. Let's just call it food, right?
Okay.
Deliver 5. A says deliver 5 food to A. I deliver the 5 food.
Yeah.
Right. Then turn ends or whatever, and we check which ones produce. Well, it doesn't matter which ones produce unless there's some sort of a track that says, region A gets a boost to its production because it's in green. Well, good. Region A produced this turn. Sweet. Good. We get a double boost, or we get the boost. You see what I'm saying? Like, it only matters in weird circumstances. However, I think that we could have multiple resources on the same track. This current supply, I know that it's all black, right?
Yeah.
It's just goods. But what if they said, bring 3 food and 2 medicine, and I bring 3 food and 2 medicine? They get put on the track in any order.
Yeah.
That I choose. Right?
Yeah.
So then when they consume the furthest one up. And when they produce whatever they have the majority of or something.
Yeah.
Or a region actually has, like, region A specializes in medicine. So now when we flip the card over and region A produces medicine, you put medicine in the global market.
Okay.
I think that works.
Okay.
I mean, out loud. Like, I haven't done this. We haven't seen this system work yet, but
Right.
Ow. Okay, so do me a favor and color those black squares. Can you color them? Well, not all of them. Some of them, like my point is to make some of them different colors, right? As if we have delivered separate goods. Like,
right.
One is a wheat, yellow or something, or pick 2 that are yellow. And those are, I have delivered some food, grain or whatever. And then pick another one. Yeah, that's green. That one. So, like, let's pick 3 resources. So we'll keep it simple. Those are your 3 resources. No. I don't mean that specific numbers on the track are that. I'm saying the supply cubes that I drop in, I might drop a medicine cube, and a wheat cube, covering the 20, 15, and 12.
So something like this.
Yes, exactly. So that is what was delivered over time, right? And they might be even more mixed up than that, but it doesn't matter. So essentially what happened is, like, at some point the contract stated like bring me 2 wheat and a medicine, or 2 wheat of food, raw resources, and then a food got delivered later, right? So on the first pass, you completed the first 2.
Yep. Okay.
I'm saying this based off of whatever you put down. So you keep changing them. I'm getting confused. But
sorry.
No,
okay.
no, you're
I'm not
good.
touching it.
So all right, yeah, leave it there. So let's say the first contract for this city said, grains, meat, and grains, right? Yeah. Or I'm sorry, it would be grain and meat, right? So it was grain and meat, and we're just going to use yellow as grain, green as meat, whatever, right? Okay. So grain and meat. So somebody delivered it. Sweet. So now, they are in the, they're in the danger zone or whatever. Maybe every region starts out with like 4 cubes. So they're just above.
Okay.
Or, something like that, right? So let's say that's how it started out. And then the next mission said, bring me a medicine and a food, right? And so you would bring the medicine and the food, you plop those 2 down on the track, and then when they consume whatever the last one in, first one out method.
Yep.
I think this works. I think this supports a multi-good system still.
Okay.
And then this region might be known for producing medicine. And so if we can get it up to the 8, 9, or 10 area, and then the card flips and it says, oh, it's producing medicine, then it's producing 2 medicines that are going into the global market where you can purchase from without having to be anywhere. It's just, the open market, yeah, as opposed to a regional market. And so you're like, well, shit, that contract over there says I need medicine, and the place I'm on right now, I can't purchase the medicine from them. So this begs the question: if I am on this place right now and I'm trying to buy medicine, and it's the blue cube, right?
Yeah.
Do I have to buy the food and then the medicine?
No, because we're basically saying that goods are goods, right?
Yes.
So it should just be like, I want to buy wheat, so I don't pay 12. Yep. I pay the 6, and then everybody just shifts down.
And it shifts down. All right, I love it. And then as far as consume goes, it will. You know what we could do? Regions could have specific consume orders. It will consume a green cube before a yellow cube before a blue cube.
Is that too complicated? Like, I like the idea. I feel like it's
I don't think that it is. When you just go through the region, it says, "Is there a green cube?" Yes, get rid of it. Is there a green cube? No, go to the next one. Like that, yeah, that would be the order. It would go green, yellow, blue, right? So if there's a green cube, remove it. So the $6 one would get consumed, and then on the next consume pass, the other food would get consumed. So in order to oh yeah, there you go. I don't. You spelled consume wrong again. You are terrible at the word consume. What is wrong with you today? You have spelled it with a C where the S was, and you were wow, Chris. You are hilarious, dude. I really like this system, Chris. I think that it's contained and nice.
Good.
Which means we can't have very many regions.
No, but that's fine.
I think we have 5 regions with a couple cities within each region.
Oh. Okay.
Does that change things for you in your head?
Kind of, sort. Well, I guess. Hold on. I think I wrote a question about this in my notes. What constitutes being in a city versus being in a region, and does that even matter?
Right. I was thinking to land specifically on the point where you want to land is when you drop off your goods. If you're actually delivering a contract, you have to land on a city within that region. So if there are multiple cities in that region, then you have you have multiple targets, right? So it's a little bit more flexible because I think the system's going to be, you know, it could be difficult to move.
Yep. Okay.
Right.
Then yeah,
so
multiple cities is fine.
If there are three cities within a region, you can drop it off at any of those cities. Use any of those cities as the regional market. But if you drop a piece off, of your ship, it damages all of those cities, essentially. It damages the region, right? Does that matter?
Well, it damages your reputation within that region.
Within that region, but not necessarily within a specific city. I think this works out really well, Chris.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be pretty cool. This feels like a real game, like a real...
Did we accidentally design a game?
I think we did, Chris. We have to. I mean, there's a long way to go here.
Oh yeah.
But I think this is feeling right. We still have to design the flight system because you're going to want to spend money. Remember, the whole other part of this is you're spending money to purchase parts as well. Like there are, if you're in a region and there are parts on the ground, that region's parts are now cards you can purchase from. So each region will have its own parts pile, so to speak.
Yeah.
And they'll have a cost on them. This part costs $2. Cool. I'll spend $2 to buy this part. I need to make a left-hand turn, so I need to install this. Does that works? I think. I think it all works pretty well within itself, Chris. This is interesting, man.
Yeah, I agree. Yes. Yeah, I set me loose on the economics, and you got me going.
Yeah, you did a really good job. I really like that economic system. It took the simplicity of what I was looking for with my terrible explanation, and you made it a very solid system that allowed for the flexibility I was looking for, the simplicity I was looking for, and you managed to encapsulate a lot of information within a very easy to read space. And I like that there's regional markets. We may find... No, I don't think we're going to find that we need only a global market. I think having a global market for the produce is like the bank. You can buy from the bank whenever you want.
Yeah.
However, if you're in this region, you can make a purchase. Do you think you have to be over one of the cities to purchase from the city?
Thinking. Okay. Do you have to be in a city? I feel like that's a question that playtesting will dictate because people are going to say, it's way too hard for me to get goods.
Well, technically, the only way you can drop off and complete a contract is to land on a city.
Right. So I feel like it's one thing to like make it easier for your customers to get your goods, but it's another thing to say like, oh, I happen to be in this zone and I'm going to pick up some stuff while I'm here. Like.
Okay. So yeah, I see what you're saying. To me, it feels like if you are over a city, you are landed.
Yeah.
Which is where you make the exchange.
Okay.
But again, you're right. Through playtesting, we'll find out if it's really hard. I mean, I may have to tweak the flight system quite a bit in order to make it so that we can do those things.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to do that because I like the economy system that we have.
Cool. So what's my time is up for the day.
Yeah.
My question is, what is our to-do list right now?
All right, so I'm gonna continue streaming. I'm gonna work on this the flight path things,
okay.
The flight templates. I think we nailed the economy. We have to do flight templates. We have to do parts, and we have to do contracts.
What do you mean hearts?
Parts.
Oh, parts.
Parts. Yep. Machine parts. I'm thinking you should continue on with the contracts. We need to make a map so that the contracts make sense. Well, you know what? Let's just have 5 regions. Let's dedicate ourselves to 5 regions.
Okay.
All right, so 5 regions, multiple cities within. You don't need a map to make those contracts, but you can say, let's say the contracts are randomized. You just shuffle them and then you deal them out in piles of 5 to each city, each region rather. And you flip over a contract at the beginning of the game, at the beginning of the round. If there isn't one, if one has been completed, you flip one over, right? So your job, I think, will be to design what a contract is. And I think that's fairly simple, like fairly simplified.
Okay.
It's just going to be goods that they want and reward that you get. And then it can be yeah, I think you can play with that.
Okay, cool.
And then designing the curve for, like, you know, easy, medium, and hard missions. And then, like, also, if there's a surplus, you get this bonus. Like, hey, we wanted 5. Well, hey, you wanted 5. Now there's a bonus, and then you get something. I think that's going to work. What's up, Ace Gaming? Welcome to the live stream. How you doing? I'm Muzzy. I have Chris, my
what's up?
co-designer here on this game. He is on the other channel, TGIK_games. I'm sorry, TGIK Games. Yeah. Just one word / TGIK Games. He's actually going to head out right now. His time's up. But we did a hell of a lot of work today, I think. We fully designed our economy, or at least the basis of our economy, which means each region will have its own economy track. And Chris is going to design some contracts on the next time, and I'm going to design, I think, the board next time. And then we'll move on to parts and stuff together.
I dig it.
Yeah, good job, Chris.
Yeah,
good economy.
You too, Joe. Thank you.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
All right.
We'll see you later.
Yeah, see you later. Have a good one.